Okay, now let's talk about two-hand tapping. And for me, one of the easiest ways to get started in two-hand tapping is by playing chords. And a lot of bass players have fiddled around with learning some chords, and so I'm going to assume that you have learned some chords. And we're going to start with a G minor chord. And I usually play the chords up in the second octave of the bass because I think they just sound better. So if I take this chord, to turn it into a two-hand tapping technique, I'll take my right hand and play the two highest notes of the chords. This allows me to bring the root note of the chord down an octave, 12 frets. Okay? So now we've spread it out and made it sound like a bass and maybe a guitar. So I can do the same thing with my C or any chord I learn. I just bring the bass note down an octave. So I'm going to take just these two chords and I have, if I move that up a whole step, and I can move it anywhere. So just practice moving that around and try that with all your chords. Now, sticking with that for a minute, I'm going to show you another way to expand on that. Okay? If I just apply a different rhythm to that, you can and you can just mix that up many ways as you want to do it and come up with your own techniques. And again, just practice moving it around and you'll find out how easy it is. I'm going to play a song for you now using this technique, and I'm going to show you some of the things that I've done with it, and you'll be able to do the same. It's really easy. Here we go. Have fun. I started playing when I was about 3 years old. I'm the youngest of 5 brothers, and they started me, actually my oldest brother, Reggie, started me playing at about that age, about 3 years old, with a little Mickey Mouse guitar that you wind up and it would play a melody. He just taught me how to strum it. Then when I got a little older, he actually took 2 of the strings off of his guitar and started teaching me bass lines. And then he just kind of let me go from there. But it was actually my brothers that actually taught me how to play. Well, my main influences, I'd first have to say my brothers, because that's where I learned most of what I do now is from them. But as far as well-known people, it would have to be Stanley Clarke and Jaco Pastorius. They were definitely 2 main influences. But there were a bunch of people also like Larry Graham and Bootsy Collins and a bunch of people who I didn't even know their names at the time, like James Jamerson and Anthony Jackson, a bunch of those people who played on a lot of the older material that I was listening to, but I didn't know their names. But those were my main influences on the bass guitar. When people ask me how long do I practice, it's kind of a hard question to answer because it's still an ongoing practicing process. I'm not where I want to be yet, so I'm still practicing. So when people ask me how long it's taken me to get this far, I usually say my whole life, you know, because that's how long it's taken me. But it's been a lot of practice hours in there. And, you know, I don't think I practice as much as I should. And, the more you practice, the better you get, and I try to practice every chance I get.